Mm, mm. Oh, okay. Where we at? Oh,
Check it out. Check it
Yeah.
what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's a new episode of Controversially Correct. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Like we told you, 6 p.m. Wednesday, like we told you, we have a great show today. I say that every week, but it's not my fault. Every week is a great show. Today, we are talking. We are talking. What are we talking? We talking shit? Are we talking real? Are we getting to the point? What are we doing? All I know is that we are here to try to explain this phenomenon of strong, independent women. That is our main topic. I don't care if it takes the whole hour. It is our whole topic. It's our whole topic. Let the panel introduce themselves. Let they here. Go ahead.
Chris, you know me.
You want to go meet?
Meek. You know me too.
It's your girl Wanna Chica. Hey, y'all.
Oh look, they here. They look. It seems to me like they're being modest because they know it's about to get fired up. I'm telling you right now. I think this is a fired up, ring the alarm kind of episode. We got people in the back. They waiting to come on because we got a show. Like I told you, we trying to get to it. So this is how we're gonna do it. So we can. So I want to get right to it. So what's we gonna do? The men are gonna come on here, right? The ladies are gonna go to the background. The men are going to talk. We're going to ask some questions. We're going to get to the feelings inside of a man on how he feels about independent women, how he feels about the whole movement. Is it good or bad? And do the men agree or disagree with just the whole movement? Period. I don't think that we've had it. I don't think I've ever seen a show where men talked, women talked, and they all talk together. It's usually them talking at each other. We're not doing that over here, yo. We're known for being honest. And shout out to all the people who have DM'd me or told me personally that the reason they like the show mainly is because of the honesty from the cast. Like we definitely are honest. We are vulnerable on here, and we trying to get y'all to understand that we can live together. I think we're trying. So what I want to do is I want Murdoch to bring on every male who's back there. Ladies, we will see you later. We will see you later. Don't worry, you ain't going far. And the ladies got some friends too. They got some friends too back there. All the fellas, come on down so we can talk. Murdoch, keep me in the damn camera. What the hell going on here? You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna talk. What I got is I got some questions that I want to ask y'all, right? Some
Yeah.
questions I want to ask. I want y'all to answer them one by one. Let me know how you feel about these questions because they're deep questions that I think that the women want to know. So we're just gonna get it started. Because if and Murdoch, if any other man comes in, throw him on the screen. I want every man who pop on to be involved in this. Okay. So the first question is the whole panel. To you, what is an independent woman? To you, Chris, started off.
All right. To me, I think an independent woman is a woman who takes full control and care of her financial responsibilities. She is employed or has a job that, can get the bills paid. She doesn't really depend on anyone to get anything done. Simple as that. Like independent is self sufficient. That's it.
Okay, okay, okay. J Mac, you up next. Your mic's off. Mic's off.
Damn, my bad. What up? How's on?
There you go.
Okay, independent woman to me is a woman that's assertive, knows what she wants, stable, um, can definitely stand on her own, uh, brings more than half to the table. And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about just stability, emotional, all that type of stuff in one. So I mean, that's my meaning of an independent woman.
All right, brother, you up next. You up next.
My opinion of an independent woman is just she's like an experiment. She was something that was created in order to spearhead this idea to basically turn the man into a tool rather than someone that's necessary. So she's a byproduct of some madman's creation to cause us to not depend on one another. Yet and still she feels the need to, like, she has the same biological urges as we men do to want one another. So she's programmed.
Okay. I like you. All right. All right. Next question. Next question. As a matter of fact, I ain't answering no question because I'm gonna tell y'all what I think totally at the end when I get everybody's opinion. All right. Next question is: do you like independent women or simply no? That's very. Do you like them or do you not like them? Whoever want to
I don't
go,
have
Chris, go ahead.
I don't have a problem with them. I just think the problem is certain women giving themselves that title and they don't fit the bill. Um, I think if you, as a man, have a problem with the woman being independent and she's not, I mean, I don't see how a woman could be independent in a relationship because you can't have an independent mindset in a relationship. But just in general, having an issue with the independent woman, not at all. It's just I feel it's a lot of women that give themselves that title, and the paperwork shows different. So no problem.
Mhm. Go ahead, J Mac.
Yo, I don't have no problem with an independent woman. Definitely, it could be challenging at time because I think the new day being independent women tend to leave some of the other qualities and at home. They wasn't brought up with them. Long as they balance it out with the submissiveness and the emotion, is the stability for the emotions, to where they can put that on hold sometimes to be submissive enough to not put you in a situation where they feel like they gotta always like butt heads on stuff. I'm fine with it. So no, I don't have a problem with an independent woman.
Okay. Okay.
For me, I don't like independent women. I'm gonna elaborate. If you choose to be by yourself, that's your business. I have nothing against you. But the way my mind is, if you want me in your life and you're telling me you don't need me, that's what I have a problem with.
Okay. Look, I'm gonna tell you one thing I say about it. One thing I do not like is the word independent. I don't like that. You can't be independent and apart at the same time. Two separate things. So if they could change the meaning, I think you'll catch a lot more brothers or a lot more people to agree if you could just change the independent and make it just keep it strong. Shit, keep it strong. That's offensive, but at least we understand it. Independent, I just can't rock with anybody
Or
being
or at
independent
least
on a team.
or at least fit the bill. Like if you independent, and independent is a solo thing. You can't call yourself independent if you're dependent on other people or entities to provide a lifestyle. Simple as that.
Ooh,
I don't If you're not doing it by yourself, you're not independent. Independent. Just like I'll give an example. You have women that are funded by the government. Cool, no issue. But you can't call yourself independent if the government is assisting you. You're a
ooh,
foster adult.
ooh,
Simple. I mean,
ooh.
it's this is just to women that call themselves independent. It's nothing
Mm.
wrong with if a woman needs some assistance. Cool, but don't call yourself independent if you not getting it yourself.
Hey, hey, I'm not here to disagree, but y'all making some strong ass points. I'm gonna keep it like that. Fellas is making some points right now. All right, next question. And somebody got something to say?
Yeah, I was about to say something like Chris said.
Go
I
ahead.
don't know if I'm gonna pick it back off him. He said, no, that was you that said you can't be independent and dependent at the same time. I think the term independent, I think it kind of almost get thrown around. I always thought it was like a woman that kind of had her own thing going and she really didn't need somebody, for is what I was raised to understand it. But you have to be independent and dependent at the same time when it comes down to certain like relationships or just certain things that you need to be able to share with somebody. So I think you can be the same. Like I say, I think it just comes down to the balance. But a lot of women picking up independent traits don't pick up the other traits because those traits tend to overlook the other traits that balances out. For submissiveness, for excuse me, submissiveness is one definitely a big trait. That's mine.
Okay, we good. Let's move on. The next one is, would you marry an independent woman? Would you marry her? Marry, not date. Marry.
No, no, and I'm gonna tell you why. It all comes down to the mindset. When you get married, it's a team effort. And if someone has an independent mindset, that means that they put themselves first. And I go by the Bible. I follow what God says. And God says that your wife should submit to her husband. And if you're an independent woman, it's going to be hard for you to submit. And submission is not something you can just pick up with marriage. Usually, submissive women are submissive in general. You don't have to be married to be a submissive woman. It's a personality trait. So I think
Boy.
an independent woman will be a headache. And a lot of times women, they'll take this, well, he can't handle me. It's not that men can't handle you. It's just like when you're making a commitment like that, does it make sense to deal with somebody that's probably going to be a potential headache? So no.
Okay. Hey,
Okay, I'm a little confused because I guess it's one meaning of independent. I guess what's the meaning of independent we're talking? Because I think you could be both. Now, if you definitely somebody that just have those independent traits where you feel like you don't need somebody, you was raised more focused on the point of needing a man, and your mama taught you them things for as you don't need nobody. So you get in there and you don't know how to be emotionally connected. You don't know how to be emotionally stable when it comes down to maintain a relationship. And like Chris said, definitely submissiveness. Definitely. Um,
Can y'all hear me?
yeah,
Yeah.
we hear you.
Yo,
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you.
can y'all
That's the second time he done messed up my stream. The third time he up out of here. Ralph, go ahead. Tell us. Would you? We gotta know your answer. Damn it. But we still want to hear it though.
So the thing is, no, I would
My
not.
bad.
And the reason why I would correlate this with when you have a classroom and a child is unruly, what happens is that the teacher kicks the student out. And the way that we were designed is that the man is the lead. And if the man is a leader, he is the instructor of his family. And if a woman is unruly, then the only best option for him and his peace of mind is to kick that woman out of his life, as to not let her destroy him. Because I learned that in other cultures, that why they stick around with their man even in the midst of what we call cheating is because they understand that if you don't support that man, then your whole family fails. So you can't really stand if one leg is busted and the other one is all intact.
Okay. You know what? I see Ralph done talked about this a lot. He's very
Oh yeah, we
he's very
always talk
keen on
about
this shit. God damn. Hey,
Hey, my bad.
my-
I had a phone call too. My bad. It cut off. It
hey,
cut off.
and my bad if I kick you up out of here, man. My bad. my bad. All right, so listen. That was the male portion. That was the male portion. Now we're gonna bring the ladies up here. The ladies are gonna talk candidly about what you guys said, what they think about what you guys said. We're gonna give them 10 minutes, like we had 10 minutes, and we're just gonna sit back. Because when we come back, it's on. When we come back, it's on. I know it's gonna be on. I know it. I know it. So go ahead, bring the ladies on. Fellas, sit back and chill. Sit back and chill. And shout out to Brandon Maurice. Shout out to Paris. Shout out to Mr. Rucker, who's always here in the comment section, dropping them gems. Shout out to y'all. But I gotta go. We're gonna allow the women to talk. No questions for y'all. Y'all just talk to each other about what y'all heard.
Well, that was interesting.
So, ladies, where do we want to start?
This
First of all, can we start with Chris's foster adult? I was like, I've never heard that. I
adult.
I think
Ooh.
I think that's where I'm gonna just be candid. That's where I had the most problem. It was the verbiage that was used to that they used to describe like their feelings and their thoughts. Because I'm a big person on like how you articulate, like the words you choose to like articulate. So some of the verbiage that they were using, I'm like, this is interesting, like, unruly. And then also some of, and at the end of the day, I'm a key person of you rule your kingdom where you rule your, but this is why we're here. So this is why we're having this conversation.
Exactly.
When they talked about what is independence, can we talk about what that is to us? Can we discuss what that means to us? So then that way we can kind of compare and contrast. I think that'd be a good place to start.
I think we'll define it. Go ahead.
Okay, I would say if you're talking about somebody who's independent, I think that's somebody who's capable, who's resourceful, and who's culpable, and who's just a grown person. You know what I mean? Like you can do things on your own. It doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot be dependent on somebody, but I just think it means like when you say you're independent, you can, like, I just think resourceful, like that's a great adjective or synonym to saying like you're independent. Like I can get up and go to work. I do get up and go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I think independent has such a negative connotation to it because some women take it and twist it and then they use it as like this, you know what I mean? Like
but that's also a lot of things. That's a lot of things in like adulthood where people use certain terms to define who they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the reason why that's important that we define what we think is independent, because you are absolutely right. Some women would take this like, I did this, I did that, and it will define them as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's probably the toxicity that they're speaking about. For me, I look at independent as similar to yours, Booby, of like being resourceful, being able to do it. Not everything in life requires a team. You can even relate it to like at the end of the day, like if we really look at it in retrospect, we're not fully independent. We're influenced, we benefit, we learn from something from our environment, whether it's mothers, whatever. So if you look at it in that retrospect, no one is truly just solely a lone wolf. But I can compare it kind of to track and field, right? Where it's like, yeah, you might get your coaching from like your team, but when you're on that track, you're by yourself. And you're performing by yourself. Now, that does not mean that you do not have the ability to work with a team, which we can kind of relate to relays, right? But like you can be independent and also, work within a team.
Right.
Yeah. So
I think they kind of made it seem as if an independent woman was incapable of incapable of, being interdependent. When actually an independent woman, is probably multitask, like she can probably multitask, but she's probably more educated and understanding of, how her behavior when it comes to being with a man or, whatever she knows how to like move around and be, flexible. I feel like the whole entire term of independent women came from, this idea that, women are dependent on men, for livelihood, for, shelter, for, all these different things. And I think what it derived from was that this idea that we can afford these things on our own. Like we work, we can provide for ourselves, we can, clothe ourselves, we can split dates if we want, we can go Dutch, like we can do all these things independently. Right. And I think that it's been somehow misinterpreted as we don't need you. And that's not what the intention of it was. The intention of it was to establish that women have transformed. And I think that a lot of men are stuck in the 50s, especially that one guy that was like talking about
Ralph.
Whatever. Yeah. We've been in the new millennium for a long time now. We all millennials. So therefore, why should we be still stuck in that mentality that women need to be some sort of like no skills, no education. You got to.
Or no, not. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say no skills, no education. I just so dependent, right?
Right,
so like solely dependent on her man. And granted, for those women that want to be that way, love, that's
fine.
completely fine. But the fact to make it a requirement is where it becomes an issue. But I have.
How you gonna date in the new millennium? I mean, most women have these skills. Like most women are able to provide for themselves. Most women can do those things without, having. So you can't lead with money if you're a man. Like you have to come to the table with
more than just dick in your wallet. You gotta come more with just dick in your wallet.
We don't need that. We need a partner. We need a helpmate. We need someone to do a lot of different.
Oh my God.
But I think a lot of them are getting hung up on the women that weaponize that
weaponize it.
You know what I mean? Like that are abrasive and aggressive, and they're like, I don't need you for shit. I don't that just go crazy with it. And you're like, ma'am, hold on. You are not on. We're not on the same.
You're not independent for real.
No. Wait, but time out. But time out though, like, cause like I feel like because like he said it was like some like mastermind, whatever. That's why it came about.
Right.
And I think this is something that's very important to me. And this is the reason why I was like jumping in my chair is because for so long, a lot of people, of course, the Bible, was the foundation in a lot of homes. We can take it all the way back to like, castles and knights and shit or whatever. But and a lot of times that's how positions were defined. Right, like the man was like monetary provider, and then the woman kept the house.
Right.
Well, if we look at American history, and I've had this conversation before, there's been like numerous events that have completely snatched our men out of our homes.
Right.
So I can't speak. I'm not trying to sit here and say that there's not women that do not weaponize it. You're absolutely correct that they do. Some of them do. But the fact to think that women nowadays just woke up and said, fuck men, I don't need men. That's not the case, boo-boo. You have to realize that many generations, starting from my grandmother's generation, had no choice. Had no choice. When you have men that are mass incarceration, going to these wars, mental illness, all this other, what are we supposed to do? Am I supposed to just sit here and just wait? Like, what am I supposed to do? Now, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm saying we can't act like that did not happen.
Right.
We can't act like that did not happen. And when it comes down to this whole thing of being so dependent, men, what's wrong with a woman choosing to be with you? Why do you want her to be in a predicament where like she has to be dependent on you? And I say this this way because of, once again, the verbiage that's being used. We can go to Webster Dictionary and look at those words. And if we go by just that definition, what's wrong with a woman saying, look, I got my own place, I can make my own money, but I'm choosing, I want to be with you. You know what I mean? Like, and having that position. I think men, and not all men, but I think that these men that do think this way, you need to value yourself a lot more than what you bring up in this house. You need, like, what about like emotional stability? You know what I mean? And, just straight up support. And also, why wouldn't you want a stronger partner? Like, if you look at a lot of these like Fortune 500 companies, they got people that can work on independent projects, but then come together and build a strong team. So if you have a woman that's able to build all these, you know what I mean? Like build so much and be able to do so much independently, just imagine what she can do if she got the right mind frame. Let me say that. If she came together and like was a part of, and came to and formulated a team.
Yeah.
So
they have turned it into something nasty. Being independent is definitely not a negative thing. It is also necessary for you to partner with someone, for them to know how to take care of themselves, for them to know how to do these things. Like, why would you want to deal with a woman who's going to be dependent on you to pretty much take care of herself?
Like every single thing.
Know how to do that.
Yeah.
That is so stressful on any relationship and marriage. Like, why would you not want to partner with someone who
has their own mind,
financial literate, knows how to manage her time, know how to manage her money, knows how to take care of herself, know how to maintain a household? That is what independent women learn. It has nothing to do with not wanting to be with a man. That's what they think. Sorry, go ahead.
There we go. That's 10. Look, Look.
bring
boy,
bring bring them men back in here.
boy, boy,
Bring them back
boy,
Right.
boy, 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 boy.
Now,
Boy,
Jay,
boy. What up? Them two dudes look similar, man. Them dudes look real similar.
Yeah.
that he was good.
That's
He
his
was
twin
only
brother. That's his twin brother. All right, look. I look. I tell you, when about 10 minutes left of the show, that's when I'm gonna come in and say my thing. This is for the men and the ladies to talk about what was just said on both sides. Whoever you got a
I,
question, you
I'll
question.
start off.
Just make sure everybody get to talk. Y'all, Murdoch, you can take me off the screen to
Mm.
make them bigger.
I'll
Miss
start off.
Balu, you going off. Yes, honey. I just got to shout her out because she's going off in the comment section.
Okay.
That's
So,
dumb.
ladies, I have no issue with anything any of you said. You actually made sense to what I was saying. I can't speak on the other things that you guys spoke on, but my whole thing is the mindset of a lot of these modern women is like that. They do weaponize it, and that's what I'm speaking on. And that's why if I was out there dating, I wouldn't, because like Tawana, that the whole it was, yeah, these new ones, they take a term and twist it to fit who they are without doing the work to really be that type of woman. You know what I mean? And then Meek, what you said about a woman being independent and then being able to get into a relationship. Again, that's all about being able to be a submissive woman in general, not riding on the title. So that's why I'm saying with the new age women with independent, I would never, just because a lot of times they weaponize that term and it just causes problems. So
So
I, I don't
I need you to elaborate because
on
once
what
again, I'm big on verbiage.
what's
That
up.
means for an independent woman to enter into a relationship, that means for her to submit. Can you elaborate on
Yeah,
that?
because again, like I always say, I take the way that I direct my life from God, and I submit to God. So me submitting to God means that I follow His instruction. His
Mhm.
instruction is for His wife to submit to her husband as I submit to God. So if I have a woman in my life, she has to submit to me because I'm going to lead her, being that I'm led by God myself. So if she has an
Okay.
issue with that, then we have an issue, or we don't have an issue really. And it's just simple
So
as that.
how do
I don't
you
make
what's an example of you leading her?
everything, anything, like I provide, I protect whatever she needs. I pray for the family, for myself. I ask God to cover me, cover them, cover my family when I'm not around. Anything. And that's the thing. A lot of
So is
men want
leading
women to
is it
they want women to follow them, but they have no head.
so is
Man has to follow God because a man has a head as well. And God says, never cover your head. And what that means is you can never let a woman be in control of you because God is the man's cover. Period.
so by you leading, are you controlling?
No, no, I don't know. Like and this is speaking for me. I don't respect the woman that I can control. Like I'm turned off by that. But the
Mhm.
thing is, I know that regardless of what women do or say, to
Mhm.
God, it's my fault. So it don't matter what you do to God, I have to answer to him. That's why it's important for her to know God and know that I need you to be able to listen to what I'm saying when I need to make a decision to better our family because I pay the penalty, not you.
Oh.
Can I say this before y'all attack my brother down there on the right in the comment? All right, I did say for the record the word independence. I mean, we were speaking from a blind point of view. I mean, when we hear the word independent, we normally know newer day women take that word and they run with it, they use it, they overuse it. And what I understood about it, especially in today, a lot of women are being molded to be independent women, but they're not being molded to be somebody's wife. And it comes up and it makes relationship complex at times because I respect the fact that you get your own. I respect the fact that you got a strong mind, but a lot of times, the disagreements and coming together with the strong stances, sometimes they get in the way. But however, it don't mean you got to be weak or you got to be willing to submit and be walked over. It's just be willing to, when you come together with a husband, allow yourself to be a wife, and y'all come together, and whatever your follow is, whatever your spiritual balance is, whatever it is that you use higher than your own knowledge, you should follow that, and y'all should be able to come together and be able to submit together. And definitely, an independent woman could be submissive as long as she has that balance. I think Meek said something about emotional stability. That's a key one, because sometimes that's the key to maturity, and a lot of people don't have that because they're not stable. They don't understand how to control their emotions, and they base it off of their logic. And once your emotions runs your logic, it creates havoc.
Chaos. Yeah, I
But
agree.
do you feel that submission needs to be earned? Because I hear men say all the time, you should be submissive. But submissive means, if I'm being submissive, that means I trust you. That
Yep.
means that you've done something that makes me feel comfortable with your decisions. It shouldn't
Right.
be a thing where just because you're a man and I'm a woman, I should automatically be submissive. Women aren't automatically submissive. They're choosing to be because
There it
they
is.
want you to lead, because they're trusting. It's not a thing where it's a characteristic. It's really a choice to be submissive, because we
So
can do it. Being independent didn't have anything to do with being submissive. Women wanted to be independent because they were being attached with men that were controlling their lives, and they had no say so.
Yep.
So now they're with this man that's leading them, that
And
they
they're
don't want to be
and he's
with,
misleading, and he's
and he's
misleading them.
misleading, and she
And
has no out
Well,
because she's just at home being submissive. And
well,
so
the Bible.
women
Okay.
wanted options. They wanted a choice to be with the man that they wanted to be with, that they really love, and not just be with a man because he takes care of me. Because that's a slippery slope. He takes care of you, but
I want to hear what Ralph got to say.
Erica,
Yes.
can I
Yes,
answer
we
Erica?
waiting for Ralph. We want
I wanted to
Ralph.
answer Erica's
Check
question
this
right
out.
quick.
Check this out. Before I even get my answer, first off, she talking about I'm stuck in the 50s. First
Yep.
off,
you said it.
in the 50s, hold on. I'll let you speak. I ain't saying nothing. So in the 50s, I don't know whose 50s you're referencing, but I do know that in the 50s, our people had more of a reason to stick together. So I don't know if you're talking about white people 50s. Good for you. Secondly, how many of y'all believe in God? Simple question. How many of y'all believe in God?
I do.
Y'all can answer?
I do.
Yep.
Okay. So you believe everything that God says in his Bible?
To the
He
best
got
of my
it.
understanding. To the best
No,
of my
I'm saying if you
understanding.
hear
Was it
something
in
out of the
red?
Bible. What?
Was it in red?
It-
Oh my God.
everything in the Bible is a word of God. You're not focusing just on the Messiah, okay? Everybody that's in the Bible is someone that was authorized to be spoken of in the word for a reason. So do you
Mhm.
believe on every word in the Bible? That's what I'm asking.
No.
All right.
You
Yeah.
don't?
My
Okay,
answer
well, I
is
ain't even gonna
no.
go here. All right, so that says that right there. What I
Because
will
things that
say
were
is this.
said in the Bible were some things you have to understand. Certain things in the Bible that were said because of the time. So just because it was said in the book, like it was said eye for an eye, well, things changed later on in the book. So it's not eye for an eye no more. So I'm just
Okay,
saying, I
so
believe in
in
God, but I don't
reference,
understand what God has to do with women wanting
God
a
got
choice
to do with
and not being
everything
stuck with a
I just
because
want
man.
to hear. I just want to
if you're
hear.
led by God,
Go
if you're
ahead.
led by God, then His word is paramount in your relationships, your life, your daily choices. That's how you walk your path because He's guiding you. So if you don't even believe, then it's kind of pointless in it. But you cannot make all the men that are good enough, that are qualified, that y'all say on here, pay for all the men that burnt you that you chose to lead.
Okay.
Y'all do that.
What that
And
No, no, no,
you
no, 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 no,
realize
no, no. Wait, hold on. Time out, Ralph. My thing is on here, you don't know nobody on here personally. So when you say y'all, you have to. My thing is, you are speaking about a certain demographic.
You need to
There
generalize.
are women that do exactly what you're talking about, but you don't have the background to tell any of us individually what our selection and what our choices may have led us or may have not led us. Just
Yeah, all
Okay,
women are
well,
not
I'll
all
put
women
you
are
like
not a
this.
monolith.
Are
As
you
women
married?
right now, and
no,
I'm,
no, he
I'm,
got a
it
girl.
may
He
sound,
got a
it
girl.
sound a little harsh. It
Is
sound
he
harsh,
married?
but if the fact that y'all even here on this panel having this discussion, that kind of puts you in the same category. Because if
It
you
does
knew what
not.
you were
But
supposed to
what
do, you
you're
wouldn't
on
even
the
have to be here.
discussion.
Oh my god.
But
Why would you, if
everybody's
you
not
had
a
it?
monolith. You can't make blanket statements like that. Like
I mean,
not
I just,
everybody does. Not
you
everybody
just
treats
did,
everything the
and
Wait,
the
wait,
same
wait,
reason
wait.
way.
why I
No,
did
Everybody's an
that is because
individual.
wait. No, time out. So is your issue, time out, is your issue with us or is it with our men? Because technically, by what you said, our men gave us permission to be on this panel.
yeah, I don't know why.
Ralph is crazy as hell. Okay, listen.
Can I
Let's just
answer?
start
Let me
there.
answer.
He's
Let
crazy
me
as hell.
answer.
What you talking about? Like what?
You see why I'm not
Can
with
I?
you guys?
As a married person, what are you
A couple,
saying?
look, some of those men,
Are you
What
even married?
independent woman a
he
weapon?
has a
I
woman.
can't
He
even
has a
hear. I
woman.
can't even
He has
hear.
a woman. No, he has
He's
a
talking
woman.
about wives. He's talking about partnership. You
He
have
has
a
a
woman.
woman.
Yeah.
Okay, but are
Can
you
I?
married?
He
He has
does.
2 women.
Can I
Yeah.
answer Erica? Can I answer Erica question?
Yes.
Erica did
Exactly.
ask. Wow. Erica asks, does it have to be earned? It definitely, but when you get to on some grown folk stuff and y'all come together, especially talking about marriage relationship, I mean, it should be there already, pretty much, depending on what you done experienced, what you done shared. So if you coming to the table and you're dating someone or you getting together on y'all on that intimate level and y'all spending that time to value each other, I'm holding my phone up, so I got to figure out how my camera go. So
Because I'm
and
like,
y'all spending that time together, like it shouldn't be no like a question in there. You gotta be like, you gotta check this box off, check this box off. If you're gonna share your yourself, your emotions and everything with that person, submissiveness comes with it. And I'm not saying, I think women are challenged by that word because I think they feel like it makes them weak, but it comes along with also like being able to lead, especially if you spiritually led by the Bible, like Chris said, you got to be able to submit to your husband, and I believe y'all can do that together, honestly. And I just think women really struggle with that trait and that word altogether.
So no. Wait. So women don't struggle. Well, I can't speak for all women. I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't struggle with the word submission because I think that submission is a part of the femininity that not all women have the privilege to really bask in. Like, and I think that has to do with a woman feeling safe. Like the point of the matter is like y'all, you know, we speak about what these women are doing and weaponizing the independent woman, but we also on the other end have a lot of men that are saying I'm this man and I'm this protector and provider, and you are not. Like we have women that do not feel safe. That's the reason why women is like, fuck it, I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you kind of always have this off balance here. And when you say this challenging or, you know, this challenge, like, why are you constantly challenging me? It's like, well, there's something there that she doesn't trust you with. And I'm not trying to say that that's your fault, but that's an obvious display of like not trusting your partner. So I don't think the issue is with the word.
God damn.
Just the way women weaponize independent women, men weaponize submission. And that's the reason why instead of me going in on Chris when he said the word submission, I need to understand where you're coming from. When he said it, I'm like, okay, so I said, does it mean that you control her? He said no. I'm like, okay, like I get a broad understanding as to where he's coming from. So it's not
No,
the
that
word.
makes sense. That
It's
makes
about
sense,
how
and
it's
I
used.
agree. It is men that use that term to try to control. And again, it's like, and this is not against anybody, but it's just like you choose that man.
No, facts.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
I say the
okay,
same thing.
you made,
Facts.
yeah, you know what I mean? And you made
You
a
can
bad
comment.
choice, but it's okay. But you got to heal from that before you go into a situation with somebody that might be a good guy for you, and then you can't get over it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I keep it real on both sides. I don't sit here and take up for whack ass dudes. Like I hold everybody accountable because I hold myself accountable. So if I hold myself accountable, I got the right to hold anybody I talk to accountable.
Right.
And anybody that knows me, they know I keep it real. I don't lie. I'm gonna tell you the good, the bad, all of it. So yes, men do the shit too, and I don't support that trash. at all.
Hey, so allow
Listen,
JT, allow
Okay.
JT to get in. He a guest.
I was
He been
I'm
bombarded.
listening.
I
I had
haven't
trouble with my
responded.
I had trouble with
Tawana, you
my I
next.
had to find
Oh
my
my gosh.
Bluetooth.
Hey,
Can y'all hear
sis.
me?
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, how y'all doing, everybody? This is JT. And like I said, I had trouble with my sound, so I couldn't hear y'all on my iPhone, so I had to find my beats on wireless. So the topic I just got back, I just got on. So my thing about the topic was the lady I forgot the lady with the braids. What's her name? It was just
Meek.
talking.
Meek,
Meek.
Meek.
Meek, how you doing, Meek? All right,
I'm good.
now I think it all start like in the beginning with relationships. Like it depends on the relationship. I think you start, with your mom and your dad, and that's your first relationship to me. And I think when women don't get that, they have a lot of. And I'm not directing this to any woman, but I think they have a lot of daddy issues and stuff like that, and that they don't have trust. So when it comes down to a man in a relationship, like this guy just said, you pick certain men, and then women get mad when they feel like they're picking the wrong men. But it's like an understanding. You gotta come in a relationship, how I would say, like more vulnerable, because then when feelings get involved and stuff like that, it has to be vulnerable because you can't be having this high guard up. Because what's gonna happen in a relationship is like y'all never gonna get to a point where y'all trusting each other. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Because I know I'm
No,
Yes,
kind of
I
jumping
think
yes.
left and right.
I agree, but I think I think that's a partnership thing. Men also have to come in with that same
No,
vulnerability.
I
I
just
think
said both.
it's on both sides. I'm saying
I
I'm saying
said
I
both
agree with
sides.
you. I'm saying I
All
agree
right,
with you.
Tawana,
Okay.
I agree.
Tawana, go ahead.
I mean, I agree with, okay, so Chris' initial point was like kind of referencing divine order. And I agree with divine order in the fact that the men should lead the home, but it's also specific to, and that is why Meek, I continue to ask him, is he married? Because divine order also involves a husband and wife. It is not your boyfriend or some dude that you messing with. So I think he needs, you need to be specific. If you're gonna follow the Bible, follow everything and be a husband and lead your wife. And so therefore your wife will submit to you, but you need to submit to God. And I do agree with men who submit to God deserve wives that submit to them. So if you're gonna follow the Bible, follow every part. Now, men like to extract certain parts, like we're supposed to submit to any man who come in our bedroom, and that's not the case. And also being an independent woman has nothing to do with submission. I know y'all bringing up submission and we talking about submission as if they are like
Yeah, they
the
don't.
same, and they're not equal.
They
Just
don't.
because that has nothing to do with me being a submissive woman. And therefore, I don't know if anybody else is married besides Mr. CYP, but his wife is the only person that needs to submit. Everybody else, you waiting until you make that step to submit to God, because you haven't even done that yet. So don't
My
sit here
wife
and
is
tell
right
me
here.
what I need to do to be a woman, right? Because I'm telling you that women have shifted, and you either need to figure out how to adjust, or you just can find you a woman who's still stuck in whatever time frame you are interested in being in. Because let me tell you this, most women are working, can provide for themselves, do not need a man financially provide for them. So what do you want women to do? Go
Hey,
back to a time where we
come
needed women, where we need men
here.
to financially provide for us in order for you to feel safe and secure with a woman?
Ooh,
It
ooh,
makes
ooh.
absolutely no sense.
She's shooting. She's shooting.
We never
Um.
gonna just happen.
She
So
said the
Put
therefore,
secure word.
that's all I'm
Hey,
saying.
so look,
So
can I say
time
something?
out. Time
you
out. Time out. Time out. Time out.
and you talking to a married
Put
woman. You talking
T
to a married
Walker's
woman.
put T
Okay.
Oh
Walker's
my
comment.
gosh.
Put T Walker's comment on the screen. I like that comment. Put that on the screen. Y'all go ahead and keep talking. Read that. I mean, it is what it say.
I mean, I just wanted to make those things clear, because I feel like we throwing around
But
submission
also,
and all these other
but
terms that's not related.
But also, we also have to add. I saw one. It was earlier where it says, yes, so, a woman submits to the man, and man submits to God. But also, the man has to love his wife the way Jesus loved the church.
That's
And
right.
that's the part that's
That's
also
Oh
the part
is
they
missing.
forget.
my gosh.
They forget
Okay.
that part.
But But the thing about it is, if the man chooses to get married, he asks the wife. So I don't think
Right.
a man that follows God is gonna have a problem loving his wife that way, or he wouldn't choose her. I don't think so.
I just believe y'all got your idea of a man expressing his love towards his wife based upon the things he says as opposed to the sacrifices he's making. Y'all overlook that with okay, let me not say y'all because I'm not generalizing. Most women that I've come across, they have a tendency to overlook that aspect of men because they're focused on what he's not saying, how he's carrying himself. He's too sweet.
No.
Let me finish. Wait, hold on, real quick.
Okay.
You said you think that a woman should have a helpmate. Who, the man?
Who said that? Who you talking about? I never said that one time. Not once. You better rewind this tape.
No, I had a question for Wanda. I had a question for Wanda.
No, I didn't say that, Mr. Hugh. I'm sorry.
No, you said that women should have a helpmate too. I heard that. I ain't deaf.
No. Yeah, you are deaf. You gotta be.
I got a question for Wanda. She said,
all right, JT, because you got a real question, I hope, because I don't know
what
because
I think you just said CYP is the only one that's married on here. I'm pretty sure all of us in relationship.
I said if he is, then
Yes,
his
you-
wife,
Okay.
if
No,
he is,
but
then his wife is the only person that is going to be, submitting if that is what they believe in. Because everybody's not a Christian, and I'm not trying to say that everyone is a Christian and everyone believes what the Bible said.
But
I'm saying that.
But she's saying if you want to use that as an argument that like the submission does not come into play until you are married.
That's what I'm about to ask. So I kind of disagree with that.
Well,
hello?
you can't. I know that. We going by the Bible. We gotta go by the.
Okay, so
we going by the Bible.
No, the men kept a lot of the men on the panel keep bringing up they're referencing the Bible.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. I don't go by the Bible and stuff like that. I do believe in God. I question certain things in the Bible. Everybody started to their opinion on the Bible. I have my beliefs and I have my disbeliefs about the Bible. So like if my relationship doesn't based on the Bible, my relationship based on the feelings, the love that I have for a person. So my thing is like I don't feel like at the end of the day, you got to be submissive on both sides, and that when submissive sounds like a strong word to people, especially to women, especially like with my girl, she was very independent before we came together and stuff like that. She was not used to a man, I ain't gonna say taking lead, just basically say taking lead, because men's supposed to take lead, and I agree with some of the stuff we was talking about. A woman can't trust a man if he don't know how to lead. I agree with you on that. I feel like I know how to lead. I think she knows now that I know how to lead the household and stuff. And we're not married, we're engaged. But my thing is I feel like the woman got to give that opportunity. And based on, not to bring up her past, based on her past, she didn't have that in relationships. So she couldn't trust a man. She was used to doing stuff her way and getting it done because she couldn't have trust for that man that she was dating with. So it kind of affected in our relationship. So of course we'll start bumping heads and stuff like that, not listening to each other basically, or she's not listening to me. We arguing back and forth. So it got to a point where it had a breakdown in our relationship where we had to take a step back from each other and realize what was important, what did you have at the time and stuff like that. So I just think when I don't agree with the you got to be married for a woman to be submissive as well as a man.
If that woman chooses to submit to you, then that's perfectly fine. But she's just strictly going off the argument of using the Bible to basically justify the man leading. That's concept.
And the thing about the Bible,
the
thing about the Bible, everybody want, and there's no disrespect to people that go by the Bible. Everybody want to run to the Bible because I remember, and I may be wrong. I think slavery got based on religion and on the Bible. So that's my whole thing. You can't just run to the Bible when it's convenient for you.
That's what she was saying, but that was her point.
Right. This is the thing.
And that was her point.
You missed the entire conversation where they're bringing Bible verses into this conversation about women. this is about independent women, but they are bringing
Okay.
Bible verses and throwing that into this conversation as if we have to honor a godly way, right? But if you're
Right.
godly, you talk to women in a certain way, you treat women with a certain level of respect, and you exude that without a woman even having to give you that that title. You exude that.
Why?
But
Why?
if you're not exuding that, but if you're not exuding that, but then you're pushing all of these Bible verses on us and trying to make us believe that this is how we should behave, but you don't even have this. You don't have the mentality that you need to have to lead us.
That's the funny part about it. It sounds like a pastor kind of use verses, Bible verses to get it,
All right. Hold on. We running out of time. Here's what I want to do before we close, because listen to me. Huey, you on here sound like P. Newton. You like P. Newton up in this mother.
They ain't ready for it.
Look, I like dude. But I honestly, I love the dynamic here. I'm gonna talk to Chris on the background, and I'm gonna see if we can get you with these two ladies, you and Chris with these two ladies, and we can continue this conversation on next episode. Because I'm telling you, it'll be fire if y'all get to talk more openly. But what I want to do is everybody get them. We got 8 people here. I want everybody to get a minute straight on their closing statements from what they learned today, what they took away from it, and what they want to leave here saying. Like, what is your final statement on this, just for today? Because we're gonna continue this, but just for today, so everybody knows how you felt after this conversation. We're gonna start at no. We're gonna start with the guest first, and the hosts are gonna finish last. So JT, you go first.
I thought it was ladies first though, CYP.
Okay,
Nah,
well,
but
Erica, you go first. We are gentlemen. Erica, go first. She froze.
Oh, she
She done
froze.
froze. She done froze again.
Froze in the moment. Froze in the
She
moment.
done froze. Said the mama was too independent for her.
Yeah. She couldn't do the submissive part, man.
JT by default.
All right, she'll be
Okay,
back. JT, you go.
all right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of hopped on late, and I didn't learn thing. I'm still learning people, learning the process. So I didn't really learn nothing. I'm still got to get to know. We got to talk more about this topic and stuff like that. So that's why I didn't really want to go first. But I can guess I can introduce myself. I mean, on more on that and stuff like that. My situation. I'm JT. I know CYP. That's my brother J Mac over there. I have a family. I'm engaged. My kids, I'm heavy with sports. I have my own business, box trucks I run and stuff like that. So besides that, I mean, I try to keep it small, and I'm open to different things, to learning different things, different opinions, and some of the views that y'all might have might give me a better view on my relationship, because I'm not a closed-minded type of person. I like taking advice from the right people. So I mean, that's all I have.
All right. Key say Murdoch. Key say she backstage. Bring her back. Next up, Keith. Keith, can you hear me? Keith. All right. Keith, 1 minute. Your 1 minute closing.
I just wanted to say, like, I'm married, so I submit to my husband because I'm super traditional, right? But the Bible does say you submit to each other, right? And then I want to talk about submission as a whole is to come up under the protection of somebody. So to like Tawana and Meek's point, like if you don't feel safe, and Erica's point, if you don't feel safe with somebody, like you're just not gonna feel comfortable completely submitting to somebody. And I did not submit to any of my boyfriends. The only person I ever submitted to was my husband, and that's within reason. I didn't feel those other people were capable of leading me correctly, and I did not trust them to lead me in the right direction, if that makes sense. So I completely agree when Tawana had brought up the point, like you're not supposed to submit to everybody, because Carlos is the only person I've ever submitted to in its entirety, and I have no problem with it. I'm very comfortable with it. I feel like he's very capable of leading our family in the right direction. So I would say to all the women out there, like take your time figuring out who you are with or who you're dating and who you're like, trying to go in that direction with. And if you feel comfortable, like take a chance on submission and see where it takes you. But don't just give everybody the chance to to lead you, because you might end up, you know, on a dead end. So yeah.
Hey, good. Hey, that was good. That was
I
good.
like that.
That was good.
You get
Huey,
the prayer hands.
Huey, you up next. You up next, brother. Let's go. 1 minute.
All right, I'm gonna go Bible verse. Sirach 26:9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelid. Haughty means proud. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found the fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. Think about that one. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fat his bones. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A shamefast and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. That's all I have to say for this one.
Damn, boy. Huey. There you go. Look at the lady. The lady. We gonna keep moving. I don't want no smoke. J Mac, you up?
All right. I was about to say nobody ain't spit Bible verses to who just went before me. So damn. Wanda kind of threw that in the air, but this is definitely a conversation. It should be definitely with open ears and receive it. You got 8 people on here, so with everybody talking and everybody bringing their logic to the table, sometimes words and meanings could get misrepresented or stated or saying this or saying that. I definitely would like to continue this conversation while I'm on it or I'm just listening, because I would want to get down to hearing what's somebody's true understanding of the wording, because I think the word submissiveness and independent tend to nowadays don't go together. I think it's easier said than done. And then I don't understand how you don't practice it if you don't practice it in your relationships before marriage. So that's something else I want somebody to kind of you know clue me in on, because you got to practice these habits so they can become practice for when you do become married. That's what I got.
There we go. All right. Wanna Meek. Who's next? It's up to you.
I'll go. Oh, you can go, Lana. It's up to you.
Let me circle back because let's talk about independent women, because that was the topic. Independent women do not equate to uncooperative, unable to partner, unwilling to partner. Independent women, for the most part, from what I've seen and what I've experienced in my life, is a woman who is able to provide for herself, is able to take care of herself, can do those things, and she has no problem doing those things for herself. And sometimes independent women, have gotten to a place, whether they went through training, whether they're educated, whether they just worked their whole life, where they don't need to depend on anyone but themselves. And being independent is absolutely unrelated to being submissive. And I think that the men on the panel, not all, but some of them, tried to connect that. And then also when they tried to connect that, they're trying to use Bible verses against this whole idea that independent women can't partner and you can't be valuable because you have a perspective, you have your own mind, you have a means to take care of yourself. So you can't be valuable. They're using the Bible verse to, validate that. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with making independent women feel like that they should be ashamed of that. But I
All
will.
right. Look. See, we about to
Yeah,
we about to look.
I
We
was
definitely do.
I was done.
All right, Meek. We ready. We ready.
So I'm gonna start off by piggybacking on Juana. I do think that some men misinterpret the difference between insubordinate and independent. There's a difference. You can definitely be independent, but also be an amazing partner, teammate, wife, and also be submissive. I do think that the issue is not independence. I do agree with the fellas when I think J Max said this and a couple of the guys said this, where it's like, you're so focused on being independent that you're losing the other traits. And I do think that submission, like some of the women's brought up, is like that's something that is learned. We're not born to be submissive creatures. Submission is definitely something that is learned. So I think that instead of like coming down on one another, we have to just also place understanding and compassion. We have to understand, like when we talk about these new times, we didn't just arrive here just because. There's different, events in just in American history alone. We can venture out to other people, other cultures, but just American history alone that got women where we are right now. The whole women's movement. Now households have to be a two income household unless you're just making like a substantial amount of money, but majority of households are a 2 income household. So with that said, like the independent woman is needed, like not this, I can't do for myself type of woman. So I just think that, like I said before, like we do have to apply understanding and compassion as to like what even got us here. And that's on both ends, as to like with men not being able to lead properly. Well, we can also agree that a lot of people grew up without their fathers in the home and without positive male role models to even like really gauge that from. That is a learning behavior. So women as well need to also apply that to men and be like, dang, okay, I understand, like he has to grow into that, or that's something he has to learn, instead of just coming at each other. And that's what makes dating the ghetto. So
Right. All right. I'll say my closing statement, but first I want to say thank you to everybody who came. I literally am, if Tawana, if Meek, if Chris, if Huey are okay with this, then you will know what the next episode is going to be. We ain't got to talk about it. Next episode will be a continuance of this conversation. If y'all could agree right now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool. That
and Huey, bring all your Bible verses, every single one of them.
I didn't even get a closing statement.
Old Testament.
I didn't even.
I gotta hear what Chris got to say. I gotta hear.
Okay, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
So I think for both sides, men and women, I think, like I said this before, women to stop giving dudes sex that don't qualify, and of course, don't submit to dudes that don't qualify. Men, stop giving rings to women that don't qualify. If people do their own homework, take care of themselves, it'll be much clearer to see who people are. So I think accountability needs to work on both sides, man. Stop giving it away. Stop letting people pressure you into feeling you need to be married if it's not the right person. And like Keisha said, if you don't feel comfortable, leave his ass alone. I say that all the time, man. But I just know in my life, I've never had a problem with a woman being submissive, ever. And I've never had to force it. You know what I mean? So I really speak for other people that don't speak, you know what I mean, that can't speak or are too scared to speak. But yeah, I just think just take accountability, man. Do research. Pay attention to people. They tell you who they are. That's it.
There we go. Hey, look, like I said, I appreciate all of you, man. This was a great episode. Man. People got to see us really talk candid and really go at it about what this issue is, if there is an issue. All I'm going to say about this is some of the men that push this submission narrative, they ain't worth shit. And some of the women, be real, and some of the women who push this independent, y'all ain't worth dating.
Right.
I think that the people who are worth dating need to be the ones talking. Some of y'all need to simply shut your ass up, learn, and sit in the corner, because you're making men look bad on one side and you're making women look bad on the other. If you can't hold down a good relationship where women's submissive to you, shut your ass up about being submissive. That's why I appreciated my man Huey, because he married. So at least when he talking, he walking it. I know me personally. She may be strong, but I'm telling you, when it comes down to it, she's a lady. She's very submissive. Y'all probably won't believe me, but I know her. So I appreciate real people being real. The rest of y'all, as I said, shut up. Let us talk. You listen and you will learn. I'm going to see y'all next week. Controversially correct. We gone.
All right, y'all. And Mika is cool off camera too. She cool as hell.
Check it out. Check it out.
EventStreams.us has all your audio and video production needs. Live stream, record, and edit any event with packages to fit every budget, large or small. Stream your wedding, birthday party, sporting event, concert, or performance. Start a podcast, talk show, or broadcast your church service every Sunday. If you could dream it, we can stream it. Again, that's EventStreams.us, streaming live content online since 2009.